The land where you grow up and the people you grow up with is very important. The land has a language and a culture, so it becomes Navajo. That influences you. That's part of your identity.
The four sacred mounds are our boundaries that was set here by the holy people, first man, first woman.
As the saying goes, as long as the Navajo reside within the four sacred mountains, we will be protected.
The Navajo reservation is 2.5 times the size of Massachusetts, with only 175,000 people living in that area. It is a very remote and isolated part of the country where 1/3 of people don't have indoor plumbing. The availability of cell phone access and electricity is quite sparse. These communities have very old road systems, some of which are not paved. This can create incredible challenges to delivering good care.
The Brigham and Women's Outreach Program with Indian Health Service is an opportunity for us to really advance care in a population with a very high level of healthcare need and disparity that we can support with the expertise that we provide.
The American Indian population is very unique in the U.S. as it is the only racial group that actually has a specific federal healthcare program for it called the Indian Health Service. And so we've been able to combine our strength at Brigham and Women's Hospital with the needs of the Indian Health Service and the Navajo patient population to really fill an important gap.
The Brigham has a long and rich history of global outreach. This is part of our culture.
The Brigham and Women's Outreach Program with Indian Health Service really has 3 approaches to better supporting the population of both clinicians and patients in New Mexico and Arizona.
The most important experience that we deliver is that our physicians actually travel out to the Navajo reservation. They stay on the reservation for up to a week at a time, and they provide direct clinical care.
The experience here for me has really underscored how important it is to see the wide range of the type of patients that we as physicians pledge to take care of. Being in this context is very, very different. You appreciate the economic, social, educational, and geographic differences and challenges that these patients have, and really broadens your horizons. I believe very strongly that the more experiences like this physicians have, the better they can provide care to all of the patients that they see.
We have a clinical exchange program where clinicians from the Indian Health Service can come to Boston and spend a week with us and get more high-volume advanced training in specific areas like congestive heart failure or critical care.
During my visit, I had the opportunity to shadow a couple of providers, and I actually got to see how they work in this environment.
Our Indian Health Service volunteer program is not a temporary program. It is built on a foundation of a lasting relationship. So we are doing active teleconsultation between Boston and the Navajo Reservation regularly throughout the year across a wide variety of areas from dermatology to critical care.
In between visits to the Northern Navajo Medical Center, we're in constant communication with the primary care providers. We work collaboratively as a group, identifying different subspecialists within our department who can help them manage some of these very medically complex patients that they're seeing.
With the outreach program, I actually get to meet the providers when they come to the site, and we talk about the deficits that we have in the specialty arenas. And I also get to use the online library and to communicate the needs of our providers with the outreach program.
To me, that consistency of that relationship, whether by phone or by teleconference or in person, sort of represents that continuity, which provides what I think is the ideal relationship between doctors who function in that environment and whatever expertise or benefits that we can offer them.
I think many of our doctors have really had to learn about the culture and the values in the Navajo community and how they look at healthcare, and realizing you have the scientific knowledge, but that ability to connect to what the patients and their families value most is critical in this case.
The traditional healer will come in and possibly say a short prayer with them. It tells the patients that they will be better, they will be strong, they'll be able to fight the illness that they are battling.
Over a number of years, they brought Navajo medicine into the Indian Health Service, which was good for all of us. Traditional healers train and work with doctors and nurses, so they're kind of training each other in terms of healing arts.
I use both traditional and modern medicine today because as children we're taught to walk in both worlds.
The people who work on the Navajo reservation in the clinics there have been very receptive to having us there, and I've always felt as if I was welcomed. But also at the same time, I felt that it was important for me to be very careful to respect their culture, the way they do things there, and I was there to learn.
We've been really privileged here at the Brigham to be able to share our experiences and expertise, how we care for patients with our colleagues in the Navajo Nation. And I think in exchange, we've really been broadened in terms of how we think about patient care.
With the help of the outreach program, our providers don't have to travel far distance to get that specialty care now. We actually can provide that right within the hospital. So that's a great help for our patients and the community.
At the end of the day, I know for sure it's made us better doctors and allowed us to care better for our patients, and I hope and dream at the other end of the spectrum it's had a similar impact for our colleagues as well.
I believe that this is a unique program that really captures the spirit of this organization, our culture, our commitment to the community, and really allows individual clinicians to get involved and make a difference in those communities.